Okay, and welcome back everyone to Technocamps' Scratch tutorials. And today we're going to be looking at the looks blocks. So we're going to go through half the blocks in this video and then the maybe more tricky half of the blocks in the second video. So to begin, we have our sprite of Scratch the Cat, and we've got these say blocks. And these are nice, easy blocks that just have your sprite say something. So if we grab in a when the green flag is clicked block, and we'll grab say hello for 2 seconds and press play, and then Scratch says hello, and after 2 seconds, that message disappears. So we can change what it says here. So Scratch could say, I'm a cat. And we could maybe have him say that for only 1 second. If we click the green flag, Scratch says it for 1 second and it disappears. So the say blocks with the timers are useful because you can get your character, your sprite, to say something for a very specific amount of time. Alternatively, you could use the say block. And so I'll get Scratch to say hello. And then that one will just stay on the screen. So it's also useful, especially if I wanted, maybe if we just grab a when this sprite is clicked, just to demonstrate this. Maybe we want Scratch to say hello, but when the sprite is clicked, we want Scratch to change to say I'm a cat. And then it's going to disappear after that 1 second. So if you have multiple things to say and you just want that message to change when something happens, maybe you'd use this block without the timer. But if you just want something to pop up for a little while, the timer is very useful. In the same way, we have the exact same blocks with the think. So I could get Scratch to think, for 2 seconds. And instead of a speech bubble, it comes up with a little thinking bubble, a thought bubble. Um, so maybe I could get Scratch to say, am I a cat? For only 1 second. And if we click the green flag, Scratch thinks that and it disappears. And by the same token, I could get Scratch to think, which will never disappear because it doesn't have a timer. And then when I click on Scratch, Scratch thinks, am I a cat? And then it disappears. So these blocks do the same thing, but with different shaped bubbles. Then we come on to the switch costume block. So if we click up on costumes, we can see that Scratch has two different costumes. Maybe while I'm in this screen, I'll add a couple more costumes for Scratch. So maybe I want a flying Scratch, and I'll add the other flying Scratch as well. There we go. So now Scratch has 4 costumes, okay? So we could say when the green flag is clicked, I want Scratch to have the normal costume, costume number 1. And when I click Scratch, he should switch to this flying costume. There we go. Scratch has his normal costume, and I click him, and Scratch starts flying. By the same token, I could, instead of saying cat for the flying costume, I could say next costume. When I do this, when I click Scratch, he will cycle through all those costumes. So this block is very useful for setting a costume when you know you want your sprite to turn to a very specific costume. Maybe you want it to become something else when you click it, or when you press some button, or when something happens. Whereas the next costume one is very useful to make an animation. So if I just get rid of these two costumes a second, then what I can do is I can say forever, and I want Scratch. I want Scratch to just continually switch to the next costume, but I'll also add a little wait block in here, maybe at only 0.1 seconds, but that means that it's going to do it slowly enough for us to be able to tell the difference. And there we go. Now we've got an animation of Scratch running because he's constantly just switching to that next costume. Okay, so that is our costume blocks. We also have the switch backdrop. And you can guess what this is going to do. If I go to my backdrops and I add a backdrop, so I'll just maybe I'll have a couple of different baseball arenas. Delete this one. Then I can get, sorry, I can get Scratch to switch to backdrop one and then maybe switch to the second backdrop when I click on the background. Sorry, when I click on Scratch, not the background. So there we go. He's got background one. If I click on Scratch, he switches to background two. And then you can guess by the same token, if I use the next backdrop, then every time I click on Scratch, he's going to cycle through all those backdrops. So that is how we control the different costumes and backdrops, either by choosing a specific one or just telling Scratch to move to the next one. Then I have my two size blocks. I have set size to and change size by. And it's important that we know the difference between these because my change size by, if I click that, and every time I click the green flag, Scratch is going to change his size by 10. Remember, we can see the size down by here. So if I click the green flag, Scratch goes to 110, 120, 30, 40. And every time I click that green flag, Scratch just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The problem with this block is that I have no way to send Scratch back to that size 100 because all I've got is the change size by. Whereas if I had a set size 2, then I can control Scratch go into a specific size. I could then have a when this sprite is clicked, and maybe I'll set Scratch's size to exactly 200%. So when I click Scratch, he doubles in size. When I click the green flag, he goes back. So it can be useful to set the exact size you want Scratch to be. However, change in size can definitely be useful if you want something to grow on the screen. So if I put that back, then now I can make Scratch grow, but every time I click that green flag, he goes back to this 100% size. Okay, it doesn't have to cycle back down. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. That is the basic looks blocks within Scratch. And in the next video, we're going to move on to the more advanced looks blocks and how we can use them. Thank you all.